over again is this ceiling of creativity. Like, I will try things and do things and get to a certain level, and then like I'll somehow get depressed, my loss of energy, any loss of focus, I see something else, shiny object syndrome, whatever, and then suddenly that project gets put to the back burner and I never finish it. I've got several like that. It's like over and over again this happens. I'm like, man, is this something wrong with me? Like, why do I always do that? You know, is this something I can fix? Like, what's going on? Have you ever felt like that? And if you have, then definitely this video is for you, because I finally figured out a way to really exercise past all these different barriers and finally finish projects that have started. Okay, so the whole idea of this is there's a wave, and you go up to a certain level, and then you get fearful and you crash down to a default level. And that default level is what you're comfortable with. And you might be able to rise above that default for certain periods of time and for sprints of time. But then eventually, for whatever reason, and it's usually through self-sabotage, you go down to this level of default where you're entirely comfortable, where you've grown up with that level. Like, you're only comfortable with a certain amount of money to make per month, and self-sabotage comes in and makes it so you go below that level. The whole concept is to raise the default. So how can you raise the default from what you're used to? So there's no self-sabotage. I hope I have the timing right. This side is deeper than I thought. The water could come through any time. I could get strong. I sometimes like to think of it as the personal 4-minute mile. Like, you know, the 4-minute mile and the Roger Bannister, and he broke it, and then other people were able to break it also. But before that, nobody thought it was going to be possible. And it's like you have your own personal 4-minute miles that you don't seem to be able to get through, to be able to break. But once you do, it's repeatable over and over again. I just find that once I break past, like once I push past, instead of going, oh, I'm depressed, I'm not going to do that, or oh, I'm tired, I'm not going to do that, or this is painful, or I really just don't want to suck at doing this, that's when it all comes together. And it's like, how do you make yourself push past? How do you make it so that you're comfortable being uncomfortable, right? That's the real trick. But there are ways to do it. A little deeper than yesterday. What if the tide's not going out? What if the tide's coming in? The fear of failure, the fear of it all. Like, that's what drives people to the default. But in fact, there's so much more to explore. I mean, think about it. Here you are, way out in the world, and you've decided you know all this stuff. And so your mind keeps you safe and all that. But one of the tools to get away from all that is to say, what if? It's looking at the world with childlike wonder and abandonment and play. To say, what if this? Or what if that? What if I did this? What if I did that? And that's freedom. Like, it frees you up to actually explore and do things. You think you know what's going to happen all the time? You don't know squat, neither do I. It's like, let's go out and actually experiment, actually do things that are fun and push the boundaries. And then just maybe, you go well beyond where you've gone before. And your mind wants to bring you back to that default again, over and over. But if you're just playing, that kind of tricks the mind, kind of like humor tricks the powers that be. As long as you're all driving towards humor and it's all just for entertainment purposes, then it's okay, right? And so your mind is pretty much the same way. It's like, just be free with it. Be free and play and say, what if this, what if that? And then in the process, of course, you liberate yourself to go beyond your default. And you stretch yourself over and over and over again like that. Stuff begins to happen. You start to see progress where you hadn't before, because you've just freed your mind from feeling that it needs to be safe. And just by playing a little bit, by pushing boundaries a bit. And it's fun, and you're no longer running from all that judgment. You're playing, you're having fun with the world. That's what we're here for, right?